Hello guys, welcome back. So much excitement to tell you about. Apollo left. You can hear about the reasons why on Patreon came back. And the main problem here is I don't know if this is the gods having a teaching moment with me, and they all just get along well and they just decide I need teaching moments. Or what it is, but basically, Apollo was kind of overreaching, and even though Loki is my main god, you'll notice Odin calls a lot of the shots around here, and that's fine because he has more forceful personality, and Loki's fine with it as long as it's going in the direction Loki wants. So Loki often doesn't step in if Odin says you should do this or that or something else. It's useful to him. He and his blood brother, are very much alike. I can't emphasize that enough. If it's going in his general direction, fine, do what you want. And, Odin can be sneaky and manipulative. And the old man kind of, sort of, is getting along with Apollo because it's making things go in his direction. And I know that. And when Apollo had left for a while, I said, "You let him do your dirty work for you, didn't you?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's not even sorry because he's Odin. Odin is a bastard. Odin is a son of a bitch. And we were having one of our normal arguments, and you find out about that on Patreon. And the thing is, Odin's very forceful. Odin is a military god, and Odin is, what is it, Biloxi Blues? You ever seen that? Christopher Walken, being a drill sergeant. And he has to be a bastard to get them ready to go in war and get shot at by people that don't like them very much. That's Odin's mission with all of his people. You can tell he is getting you ready for something, not some kind of crazy conspiracy theory, but he's a war god. He's a god of many things, but when he's in that war god aspect, and I say aspect because it's the easiest way for me to wrap my head around it, Odin is still Odin no matter what part you're dealing with. When he's in that war god aspect, war is all he understands, and he's going to get you ready, and he's going to make you into an army of one. So he's very rough, he's very tough. He talks to you like a Marine, very colorful language. And, he had started something and I shot back and Apollo stepped in the middle. Fun ensued. And the thing is, that's Odin's managerial style. He can do that. He can also do, oh, he can be tender and kind and loving and indulgent, give you gifts, and he's got a lot of other stuff going on. He'll feed you and everything, especially beef, you know. It's one of the things in his lore, and he's carried it forward. Not like the main parts of the lore, but later stories of the gods where, he's usually sneaking up and coming in as some kind of beggar or traveling storyteller, and he comes in to see a king, and he's telling him all sorts of, stories. And this traveling merchant just happened to have all this beef he brought. And, because as you do in the old days, just traveling along with beef. And I get goes back here. And, the kings would not take it because they were good Christian kings and they realized it was the evil Odin that brought it. And I'm like, I would have ate that beef. I said, hey, old man, how come you don't show up here with beef? So, So, we have our fights. We spat because Odin's way of loving you is seeing how much you'll take and seeing how you'll stand up to him and kind of poking you in the shoulder like the bastard that it can be. And he wants a fight. He wants a scrap. So does Loki. Usually Loki wants to get along and have fun, but sometimes he wants to see if he can make his fox bite at him. He pokes at you. And, they both want you to be able to stand up and fight for yourself. They're both very much, even if Odin can be a leader, very much solo combatants too. They face their opponents one-on-one. It's not like, people that fight in a group or something. Odin can go into that military mode, but he's very much a solo fighter as well and faces off against most of his opponents on his own. Same thing for Loki. So they're both going to teach you whether you want to learn or not. And I don't mean like combat techniques or something like that or martial arts, but they're both going to definitely teach you how to stand up for yourself, set boundaries. So Apollo wanders into this kind of military training thing Odin got going on. And he lashes out at Odin because he doesn't like it because Apollo is the polar opposite. he is the protector of his people. Apollo protects. Apollo is like, get behind me, I will defend you, I will be your shield. Odin's like, where the fuck are you? Get out there and fight. So it's two polar opposites, and Apollo was like, absolutely not. And that's his holy divine nature. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. It's not going to just suddenly go, have your way and throw you out in front of him. He's hardwired to get in front of his people and protect people and cities and states and stuff like that. And he's not going to let you go out and fight your own battles, okay? He will help in wars, yes, but he's still not going to let you go out and fight his own battles if he has anything to say about it. And he's protecting the delicate fluff. And I'm like, you don't understand. I gotta go out there and fight. And so chaos ensued, and he left for a while. And, he did come back. Odin's actually the one that Odin's mean. Odin fights like a cheap bastard. I was watching the news, and damn if this thing didn't come on about it wasn't funny itself, but damn if this thing didn't come on about these elders in these homes that obviously we can't see them right now because of coronavirus. And it was gonna make me cry, and then Odin like comes in like the father wolf dumping the wolf pup in the den. He's like, here he is. And I'm like, you want to get him. You. Yes, at least I'll have somebody to fight with. And, he dumped Apollo back. And, Apollo had tried to creep back in, but I was pissed off with him. And so Apollo was back, and it's just, we had to agree. I have to let him protect me to a certain point and do for me, which is a total opposite of Odin. Odin's like, get out there and get it yourself. I'm not doing for you what you can do for yourself. Where Apollo is totally different with me. No, that's with me. Apollo, you might be working with Apollo and being like, since when does he do anything for you? I think maybe it might be nothing else other than nobody else around here will do for me. And Apollo's like, no. Plus, I'm still on the medication. That might change dramatically. I'm on the 9th day. Tomorrow's the 10th day. It might change dramatically once the medication ends. We shall see. And, in a way, I think he's glad that they've toughened me up because I'm kind of looking forward to, I am hoping I have Thanksgiving alone. My friend's friend, who was going to be the one to invite us all, she ended up putting her hip out, so she's obviously, she's in a home or something right now. They don't even know where to put her. Send her to a physical therapy place or send her to a home or where to put her. I said, well, even if she comes home, she's not, she's in no damn shape if with her hip out to um, cook dinner. It's not like she's 20 and they're just going to pop the hip back in and tell her to shake it off and go walk, which would be terrible advice, by the way. But she's an elderly woman. They're going to do physical therapy and everything else. And I said, there's no way. I'm not going to talk to her like that, but there's no way in hell she's coming home cooking full Thanksgiving dinner. I said, I'm sorry, but it looks like Thanksgiving canceled. I said she had invited me up, and I think my friend stiffened. It looks like, we'll be having Thanksgiving at home. I said, that's fine. I put stuff away. I had expected of either frozen meat, I can get down whatever, I'm not particular, or I have those complete meals. And we had ordered some food this week that'll hopefully come in before Thanksgiving. So, we'll have stuff. I had picked up some meat and cheese at Aldi's, for my lunch. Brought some of it home, had some of it, and put some away, and put some up in the freezer so I can get that done. And just if I want to have a platter and watch a virtual parade, I can do that. They do teach us to be self-sufficient, is where I'm getting. They do teach us to be like, well, I'm on my own, but I still got me and I got the God. So I think he appreciates that. He wants to do for me. And I said, great, you want to do for me? Get, make sure I'm totally healed. Make sure the insurance, stays with me. Make sure all this other stuff happens. There's a lot you can actually do, though. I would be truly appreciated. So, it's just a different managerial style. I'm not used to a god wanting to take care of me. Loki's very warm, nurturing. Don't get me wrong, he is. But he's also Mr. Learn from your mistakes, too. If I would decide to be foolish, my friend's having a kind of indoor flea market Saturday. if I would be foolish and go, yeah, with COVID surging in this area, I think I'll go to a flea market. He would be like, well, you'll learn if you get sick. And, that's the kind of God he is. That's the kind of God he is. But Apollo's like, you are not going. You are not going. And the thing is, I love her, but she'd made some promises to me and then she forgot about them and she had a yard sale and then she made promises to me and she forgot. She did do a lot of nice things for me, but I'm like, half the stuff being in the yard sale is stuff you promised me, but I'm not gonna say anything. So, I'm like, I'm not going up anyways because you know me, my damn mouth. I'll probably open it and say, well, hey, all that stuff that's out there, you promised that to me, and then you took it and you gave it to somebody else. So, and she doesn't owe me anything, by the way. I'm well aware of that, but I'm like, you kind of promised that to me, and then you gave it somewhere else. So, I'm kind of mad at her and that's normal, like when your friends know like maybe you would like first dibs at something or they promise you something, right? And then they turn around, they give it to somebody else, you get kind of mad. I didn't ask her for the stuff in the first place, but she's like, "Oh yeah, I want to give you all this stuff and I want to give you all this stuff." And a lot of it fell through. Thankfully, I did get like some meat off of her, which I'm thankful for, but that was all I got. Well, that and a coffee machine because she wanted it out and she was throwing it out anyway. So yeah, stuff she was throwing out anyways, I got is what I got. So that was the same thing with the other stuff she promised me. She was like, "Oh, I'm throwing this out. Would you like it?" And I'm like, "Geez, so generous of you, but sure." But it's not like she was giving me, excuse me, it's not like she was giving me out of her heart. It was like, "I'm throwing this garbage out. You want it?" So, because she knows I'll come and pick. Hey, I grew up like that. I grew up in a family where, my grandparents went through the Great Depression and you didn't throw anything out. And if you were going to throw something out, you contacted everyone you know. Do you need it? Do you need it? Do you need it? And if nobody needed it, you kept it. So, it was a different time. It was a different time. Today, everything's disposable. Nothing lasts long. But if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Did I say anything useful? I know there wasn't much Loki in that video, but surprisingly, he has been staying on his own and staying out of this. He did smart mouth Apollo. They're putting him through his hell week. They did with Asmodeus. And just like Asmodeus, he folded like a house of cards and was trying to like hide behind me because he didn't want to fight with them. I'm like, you're gonna have to learn to fight because that's all the gods in this house do is go at each other. I said, he's like, but I don't want to fight, and I don't like the way they talk to you. They're really mean, and Dionysus has told you, and they're really mean. And why do you let them be so mean? I said they're both mean. I said they're really mean. Asmodeus is real nice. Asmodeus never causes any trouble, but Asmodeus sits in the corner and watches shit go down and smiles to himself, and I know he does. I can't sense of pride. Asmodeus knows that if he lets the chaos, just three-ring circus it look he can make the house into, go on as performance art, something will happen and he'll take advantage. Asmodeus is a smart one. Him and Lysantha never cause any problems. Never at all. Those are my two little good ones. Those are my two little good babies. The rest are bad. I go, hey, Becker. Look, he knows he's bad and he smiles about it. But we're supposed to. Are we even getting something? Yeah, his Christmas Oreos are supposed to come in today. Supposed to. They're on a truck to be delivered, which means fuck at me if I know. I don't know. Like they could get here today, tomorrow, next week. Who knows? On a truck to be delivered means jack shit around here. So I had hey, but yeah. And we had ordered some stuff, about through Patreon, and most of it is shipped except for the extra food, actually. It's not extra food. By the time it comes, we'll need the food. I'm going back into that ordering early thing, which we did last year because, not last year, earlier this year, because everything's fine. Don't want anybody to panic. But with the holidays coming up and, with COVID, I'm like, I'd like to have my little bits put away and I can still pop out to the gas station. Guys, I'm there for like 5-10 minutes at most. They're really damn good about masking up now and wiping every surface that exists down. Probably the food too. um, you know, um, they're really good at making people stand 6 feet apart, making sure you wear your mask. So, I feel safe going in there. But If you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. I didn't say anything useful at all, did I? But, I did something at least. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.